Let me ask you this question. If you met a guy that was successful, had everything together, had a great life, great business, great family, all that good stuff, well mannered, handsome, tall, masculine, competent, influential, funny, all the boxes that women like, right? Like you're starting to smile, right? You're starting to light up. But because you say, I'm not going to sleep with you until I'm proposed to or until I'm married, would you be okay with him getting sex somewhere else from another woman?
Um, yeah, I mean, I'm not actually a jealous person at all. I would prefer to be respected once we're married. But yeah, I
But before you would look the other way?
well, I don't see why I would find out. And also, where would he look for it? Like, if he's looking for it from like a close friend, like
You could
clearly
have a
this friend is
friend,
more than a
that's a
friend.
friends with benefits, sort of thing. He could work in an industry just as a lady friend, whatever. But, he sees you as wife or mother stock. Would you be okay with him scratching that itch somewhere else until you're married?
No. I mean, like, I would if I don't find out, but also, like, that puts me in a danger of catching diseases. So I just don't see how I would be okay with that.
Hmm.
Like, condoms are not 100%. It's still a risk to get impregnated.
Hmm.
I don't see how this would be okay.
Okay. Bob, you got anything else on this?
No, I would love to. I would love to bounce it around and see how this sits with the other ladies on the panel.
Yeah, Chelsea and
So
Natasha, what do you guys think?
I see Natasha nodding a lot, so I'm wondering
I mean, it's
what
interesting.
resonates with her. Yeah,
It's interesting. I definitely feel like obviously we are in different places, so the experiences that we have are going to be different. Um, yeah, yeah. At 24, I was not looking for a husband, so I can't relate. The men that I was dating when I was 24, marriage stuff like that was not. We weren't thinking about it. We weren't talking about it. So I'm not sure. I'm not too
what
sure.
about now?
Even now, I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, I'm only 28. I think I probably have about like, I don't know, maybe 8 more years before I really would like to settle down and like really have a future with somebody. I would
Do you
like
want to have kids? Is that
maybe,
part of the plan?
maybe, but as far as I'm concerned right now, I want to have like, I want to set myself up. I'm like an independent, very independent person, like she seems. So yeah, I I do feel like I have some of the same struggles when dating men.
Hmm.
Um, but once I meet them and I see things are not gonna go the way that I like them to go, we just have to go separate ways.
You don't have to be as independent in North America, especially in most US states at all. You just have to not marry a loser.
No,
And,
I
and
agree.
everything's taken care of.
I agree.
Like
But I
even
do
better
feel
than how it would be taken care of in Bulgaria because there's division of assets, there's alimony, there's child support, there's all that stuff.
I just feel like
Why do women have such a strong affinity for independence? I guess is what I'm asking, especially in the US if you don't really need it.
I think it just comes
In
from
Canada too, actually.
not wanting to feel like you have to depend on a man, or like for instance,
Yeah, but when you go out on a date with a man, who's paying? It's always the guy, right?
yeah, of course. I mean,
So how are you independent if he's paying for the date?
what I feel when you're trying to get to know someone in a aspect like relationship wise, I feel like it's just traditional. It's courteous, I would say.
Yeah, but a traditional woman would have culinary skills and want to keep a home and not want to be independent, stuff like that, right?
I think it changes during it evolves with time. Um, all of
Evolves
those
how?
all of those things I have no issue with. But I am single now and I am taking care of myself and supporting myself.
Would
I think what
you?
she's getting at, Rich, is like it's gotta develop that over time, right,
Yeah, I
Natasha?
know,
So it's
but
like you're not going to lead
would
off the
you?
bat with that
Would
kind of
you
thing.
be a traditional wife if you like you were talking about settling down in 8 years? I think you said right. Like, would you be a traditional wife?
I would hope so. I would hope
And
so.
and what does a traditional wife do?
To me, it's somebody who's like making sure that everything is taken care of as far as like the home aspects, making sure that her husband is supported,
Mm.
um, the family life, stuff like that.
So like a traditional type of marriage, traditional type of man.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're not a traditional woman today, though. If you're strong, fierce, independent, tattoos are also a strong signal of not conventional femininity and, you know, conservatism sort of stuff. Especially if you're spending like, I mean, you're talking 8 years. So you're 28 right now. So you're talking 36. So you're going to spend 36 years of your life with a bunch of other dudes and say, hey, I'm here. Let's get married. Right? Like that's not traditional either, right?
I suppose, but I feel like when people were getting married a lot earlier, it wasn't working out. I feel like, okay, you choose somebody that you would like to be with early on. You still don't really know who you are as a person. You haven't like seen enough of the world. You haven't experienced enough in order for you to say, okay, well, I just feel like you change over time. But I feel like mid-30s, you do know yourself a little better.
Yeah, what ends up usually happening though, you know, we find, I mean, Moff and I have done these shows for close to a year now in the summertime, I think. There's a contingent of women that are in their late 30s, early 40s that are like, I fucked up. I thought that, you know, guys wanted me to challenge them and the fierce independence and figuring things out. And that's not what they want. They basically want Yana.
I want to kick that over to Chelsea because Chelsea called into my show a couple of weeks ago and she talked a little bit about this. So Chelsea, will you give us some background on and kind of your opinion on this whole thing?
Can you be a little more specific? Like,
yeah, I just mean about the stuff that Rich just talked about, right? I think you mentioned that you had been the independent, you had been sort of like the career focused type person, and you sort of realized that that's not what men were generally looking for, and yeah, just kind of your history when it comes to that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think girls now are kind of, in the West anyways, brainwashed into thinking that we need to be strong and independent women, and I don't think it works. I don't think it works if you...
When you hold yourself out that way.
Oh, it's terrible. It just doesn't work.
Can you explain? Can you give us some example or...
Well, first off, if I'm going out trying to bring home the bacon, I come home and I am miserable. I don't think that we're not built for high stress situations, right? Like, I think it's much better to have a happy woman than somebody who's bringing home the bacon.
I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here and pin down below in the top comment. You'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.